Most people trying to make money on YouTube are asking the wrong question. They're obsessed with subscriber counts, upload schedules, and whether they need expensive gear. But here's what nobody tells you. Making money on YouTube has nothing to do with any of that. It's about something completely different. And once you understand it, everything changes. The truth is brutal. Your videos probably aren't good enough yet. Not good enough to make money. Not good enough to get views. And that's perfectly normal. Every successful creator started exactly where you are now, making content that just didn't hit. The difference is what they did next. Here's the real framework for making money on YouTube. You need to create videos people actually want to watch. Then deliver value so consistently that the money becomes inevitable. Sounds simple, right? It's not. Because most creators skip the first part entirely and wonder why they're broke. Let me break down what actually matters. YouTube doesn't care about your subscriber count. The platform cares about one thing: keeping people on YouTube. When your videos do that, you get rewarded. When they don't, you're invisible. The algorithm isn't your enemy. It's just a mirror reflecting whether people find your content valuable. So, how do you create videos people want to watch? Start with titles. Keep them under 50 characters. Make them specific, not vague. I tried every coffee in my city beats coffee vlog every single time. The more extreme your angle, the better it performs. But here's the catch. You have to deliver on that promise. Say you tried every coffee and only tested 5 shops? Your audience will notice. They'll leave. They won't come back. Your thumbnail needs to work with your title, not against it. When someone sees both together, they should instantly understand what they're getting. Simple beats complex. 3 visual elements maximum. Make it readable on a phone screen because that's where most people watch. If someone can't tell what your video's about in half a second, you've already lost them. Now let's talk about those first 5 seconds. This is where most creators completely fail. They waste time with intros, animations, or asking people to subscribe. Nobody cares yet. They just clicked. You have 5 seconds to confirm you're delivering what you promised. That's it. Open with the exact moment that matches your thumbnail. If your thumbnail shows you holding a giant pizza, your first shot better be you holding that giant pizza. The mistake everyone makes. They think building suspense means delaying gratification. Wrong. You need to immediately validate the click, then build from there. Say your title is, "I spent $10,000 on Amazon's weirdest products." Your first line should be something like, "I just spent $10,000 on the strangest things Amazon sells." And this first one is absolutely insane. You've confirmed the premise. Now they'll stay to see what happens. But here's what really separates channels that make money from channels that don't. Consistency in quality, not consistency in schedule. You've probably heard you need to upload every Tuesday at 6 p.m. or some nonsense like that. Forget it. One incredible video beats 10 mediocre ones every time. The algorithm doesn't reward frequency. It rewards videos people can't stop watching. Think about your own viewing habits. When you find a video you love, do you watch more from that creator? Of course you do. That's what you're building toward. Each video should make people immediately want another. Not because you told them to subscribe, but because what they just watched was genuinely valuable or entertaining. Most creators completely misunderstand monetization. They think once they hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, the money starts flowing. It doesn't work that way. Ad revenue is just one piece. The real money comes from understanding your audience so well that you can create products, services, or partnerships they actually want. But you can't get there until you've proven you can hold their attention. Here's the part that's hard to hear. You probably need to make way more videos before any of this pays off. Not random videos. Deliberate practice. Each one teaching you something new. Video 2 should improve on Video 1. Video 20 should make Video 1 look amateur. This isn't talent. It's iteration. The creators making real money on YouTube treat every video like a product launch. They obsess over every detail. They test thumbnails. They rewrite titles. They watch their own content and cringe at the boring parts, then cut them out. They ask brutal questions. Would I watch this? Would I share this? Would I come back for more? And here's what's coming in the next part. The exact system for turning views into actual income streams. Why most creators leave thousands of dollars on the table, and the specific strategies that separate hobbyists from professionals who actually pay their bills with YouTube. Because getting views is only half the equation. Let's talk about money. Real money, not AdSense pennies. Most creators obsess over hitting monetization requirements. They count subscribers like lottery tickets. But here's what nobody tells you. The moment you get monetized is usually the moment you realize ad revenue doesn't matter. A video with 1 million views might pay $3,000. Sounds great until you realize you spent 60 hours making it. That's $50 an hour. You could have worked at Target. The creators actually making money understand something fundamental. YouTube is a discovery platform, not a business model. Your channel is a storefront window. People walk by, peek inside, maybe come in. But the transaction happens elsewhere. You're building an audience that trusts you enough to buy something eventually. That something could be a course, a product, a service, consulting, merchandise, sponsorships. Anything except ads. Think about the channels you admire. The ones that seem successful. They're not counting ad revenue. They're leveraging attention into actual business. A fitness channel sells programs. A tech channel gets sponsorships. A comedy channel tours live shows. The YouTube revenue is just validation that people are watching. The real income comes from understanding what those viewers actually need. But you can't sell anything to an audience that doesn't exist yet. Which brings us back to the uncomfortable truth. You need to make dramatically better content than you currently are. Not slightly better. Dramatically better. Because the gap between pretty good and actually successful is enormous, and most people never cross it. Here's what separates them. Successful creators treat every video like it's competing against Netflix, against TikTok, against everything else their viewer could possibly watch. They know attention is scarce. They know their video is one click away from being abandoned. So they obsess over every single second. They cut ruthlessly. They test relentlessly. They ask brutal questions. Would you watch this if you didn't make it? Be honest. Would you send this to a friend? Would you watch it twice? Most creators lie to themselves here. They convince themselves their video is engaging because they spent so long making it. But your effort doesn't matter to viewers. Only the result does. The fastest way to improve is finding people who'll be ruthlessly honest with you. Not friends who'll be nice. Not family who'll support you no matter what. You need someone who'll watch your video and tell you exactly where they got bored, where they wanted to click away, where they stopped caring. This feedback is brutal and necessary. Because here's what happens when you actually make great content. People binge it. They don't watch one video and leave. They watch 5, 10, 20 videos. They subscribe not because you asked, but because they're genuinely afraid of missing what you make next. That's the difference between a channel that exists and a channel that matters. Every video should make your previous work look amateur. That's not self-criticism. It's growth. If your video from 6 months ago still looks just as good as what you're making now, you've stagnated. You should be improving so fast that your old work embarrasses you slightly. That's the signal you're on the right path. Most creators plateau because they stop learning. They find a format that works okay and repeat it forever. They get comfortable. They stop watching other creators critically. They stop experimenting. They stop caring about the details. And their channel dies slowly, view by view, as the audience drifts away to someone hungrier. The ones who break through stay obsessed. They study thumbnails from channels in completely different niches. They analyze pacing in movie trailers. They notice how commercials hook attention in 3 seconds. They steal techniques from everywhere and adapt them. They never stop asking how to make the next video better than the last one. You probably think you're already doing this. You're not. If you were, your channel would be growing faster. That's not meant to be harsh. It's just math. Great content spreads. If yours isn't spreading, it's not great yet. And that's okay, because most people never make great content. They make decent content forever and wonder why nothing happens. The difference is accepting that your current work isn't good enough and actually doing something about it. Not planning to improve. Not thinking about improving. Actually sitting down and making the next video measurably better than the last. Cutting tighter. Writing sharper. Framing better. Delivering with more energy. Something. Anything. But tangibly better. This is the part where most people give up. Not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable admitting your work isn't as good as you thought. It's easier to blame the algorithm, to complain about saturation, to say YouTube doesn't work anymore. But channels blow up every single day. New creators come from nowhere and build massive audiences in months. The platform works fine. Your content just isn't there yet. So the actual path forward is simple but not easy. Make better videos. Not more videos. Better ones. Study what works. Cut what doesn't. Test everything. Stay hungry. And eventually, if you actually do this instead of just nodding along, you'll look back at where you started and barely recognize it. That's what building a real YouTube career looks like. It's not a secret formula. It's not a hack. It's just relentless improvement over time, until the gap between where you are and where you want to be closes completely. Most people never get there because they stop too early, right before it would have worked. Don't be most people.